don't know the things that I do. Me and Daley HG. You don't know the host of the biggest bomber clad show up on the planet Earth. Zimmy.
That's a lot. That was a lot. Hi guys, welcome back to 1257
No
Pod Party.
emotion?
What?
Hi guys, welcome to the 1257.
I have to be the sane anchor of this show because obviously, you know what everybody's been saying?
I mean, shit, tell them what day it is before you say that.
Today's Wednesday, 11/11.
Today's our launch day.
Oh, today is the day we launched the first episode of the podcast. And we've been receiving a bag of feedbacks. I must say, it feels good. I'm tapped out. I'm so famous. Like,
Yo, shut the... Yo, so as y'all probably already picked up from the first podcast, we are trying to stay more on topic because we haven't heard that. I ain't go front. Everybody that's been saying, they say they like it.
They said they love the authenticity. They love that it feels like it's a vibe more than it's not structured where it's boring.
Right.
Because every other podcast, not coming for anybody, but it's structured and it's like a bag of
fucking pussy ass podcast, pussy ass whole ass niggas.
No one said that.
Nah. That's on
Terrell is here with us.
What's going on, y'all?
We have TT. You've heard us talk about
TT?
Terrell.
Sheesh.
When have we ever called this nigga TT?
I call him TT. Terrell, Tasia, TT.
Okay,
Have you ever heard her call you that, bro?
No, I haven't. However, to your defense though, a lot of people in my family have called me TT. Like my
See,
mom,
I just
aunts,
felt
and all
it.
that, you feel me?
It's
So,
right
Jen,
there.
you're fake as fuck.
It's right there. It's the energy.
yeah.
But yeah, man. So thank y'all for sticking with us so far because this will be episode something. Now I think we're gonna probably drop this as the 6th episode. Right now we're just trying to stock up on a couple pieces of content. You feel what I'm saying? Especially when we have dope guests. We try to schedule time so we can get the conversation going, and then wherever it fits in with our release, you feel what I'm saying? We try to get it out. So formally, I want to introduce my boy Terall. You know what I'm saying? Business partner of Event. You know what I'm saying? Been a homie since high school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into a little bit more of that as we go further. But, man, how you feeling today, bro?
Bro, I'm good, kid. I'm happy to be here, dog. Now I got a nice little setup, you know what I'm saying?
In the studio.
In the studio.
In the
It feels
stu.
authentic, you know what I'm saying?
That's what we're going for.
Good.
Where's our little Buddha that had the little smoke coming out
He's
of it?
outside.
Yeah, that's for here.
Cute.
Y'all
Where's
really
a
go back and forth.
Bamboo plant that was supposed to be in here for good luck.
Oh, it's outside because I filled it up with water.
You didn't.
You want to bet?
I looked at
I
it.
will literally pause this podcast to go outside.
You'll pause it.
Eat a dick.
There is. I'm looking at it right now on the counter. There's no water in there, but the little bit that was in there, anyways.
I literally refilled it.
That's you refilling it. It
Jen.
says a lot about you.
I hate you. I hate this podcast. I don't want to live here.
That's fine.
1257. Fuck this. I'm taking my 57. I'm gonna go find that goddamn apartment.
Go on.
And I'm out of here.
Go on.
That's fucked up. Why would you say that?
I'm not gonna hold you, my guy.
You ain't gonna hold me, my boy?
Because the thing is, we're speaking about friendship, and on the topic of friendship,
yes.
it's
Is
not.
that the topic?
What's the topic, Carl? What's the topic you came
All
up
right.
with?
So the name of this episode, my dog. You feel me?
Well, wait for it, guys. Wait for it.
Genna.
Yet again, we're back with another.
Me Genna. Is it me? Like Genna, me General, me Brethren. Is it me? Yeah, that's all I got. Yeah.
Terrell, be honest.
What's up?
Is it fire?
Yeah, I fuck with it.
Terrell, is it fire though?
Yes.
The nigga said what
I'm sorry.
Oh, hold up.
It positively is. I don't know how to say yes in another.
See?
We. You know what I'm saying? Like
What you want from a dog? Man? What you want from a Genna dog?
Don't, you're brand new, no, my guy.
But yeah. So on the topic of friendship, you feel me? It was only right to bring one of my closest peoples. You feel what I'm saying? And that's pretty close to you by default, I guess.
I mean, I wouldn't say close. That's a stretch, but proximity is there.
Oh, you salty now, huh?
I sure is.
That nigga disagree with you one time, and now all of a sudden it's not TT, it's that nigga.
I've seen him a few times.
he be around.
I don't know.
yeah. He's watched Mars once. You know.
In pretty much in our house, walk the dog and shit. You feel what I'm saying? It's cool though.
Yeah, I mean, mean, it
I
happens.
don't think we had this written down, but what I wanted to do as well, like with our guests, do you mind if we kind of just ask them their beliefs and what they feel about what spirituality means to them?
Yeah, you can take the time to introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about your spiritual background, if you have a spiritual background.
And if you're comfortable.
Yeah, I feel. So, as they said, my name's Terall. You know what I'm saying? No, but on a spiritual sense, I don't particularly claim any spirituality or religion. However, I do define myself as a spiritual being in the sense that I know that there is a higher power,
Right.
and that higher power set things off into the universe that we can see with our eyes physically, and it's also that same source or same power, so to speak, has set things down into nature, and by witnessing and observing both the universe and nature, we I've come to a very nuanced way of looking at spirituality, looking at humanity and people.
I like that word that you use, my boy, nuance.
You're not gonna stop saying on for the entire podcast.
Oh, no, that's my vibe for the rest of the So I was just thinking about the nuances.
You are so annoying.
Okay, for sure. So when you say that observing the universe, right? In terms of like nature and the universe, is that like a combination of both? You feel like is the higher power? Like, what exactly do you think of when you say the higher power? Do you have like an image, or is it just?
I particularly try not to have too much of an image.
Okay.
But if I did have one, it'd be black because everything comes from the black.
Hey, nigga, talk your
You know what I'm saying? So
naturally.
Big fucks.
And I guess how that kind of to kind of make it plain and simple, God created forces in the universe that have manifested themselves into nature on the planet.
Gotcha.
And by witnessing all these things, we can see, okay, there is a source.
Right.
And that creator also created, different levels of, balance through, darkness and light, and
right. The duality of things.
The duality of things, right? Exactly.
So the nuance of how
Carly,
what
the nuances of things.
Well,
you are annoying.
I'm just trying to have an intellectual
go off, please.
banter
Go off.
with my
banter.
fellow brethren.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, my boy, I'm in there, boy.
Go on.
Hey, tuck it, my nigga. Tuck it.
I don't want to tuck
You
it
ain't gonna tuck it?
because I'm salty from the first podcast. Everybody's like, "Why I'm doing it like that?" And I listen back and I'm like, "Hold on."
But you said, the fucked up thing is they haven't listened to the other podcasts that we've done where you're my girl called me my dear in one of the podcasts.
I did not. These were my words, Terral.
Oh Lord.
He tried to imitate the Allstate guy after he just said, he said Morgan Freeman is about 3,000 years old, right?
She's stretching, but the nigga old.
So he's like, those guys have like a thunder voice. I'm like, yeah. Then he started talking about, because I'm in that category.
I mean, I can always talk like this. I understand.
This is my natural voice. What are you speaking of?
So I simply said, no, you're not in that category. They're in a category of their own. Yeah. You're more like a strangled.
You didn't say all that. See, now that you had time to think, you're trying to add sauce.
No, I said you're a strangled. You sound like strangled Tyler Perry. That's what I said. Pull it up.
Why? I tell him pull up nothing, brother.
Why back for you?
Why back to you, bro?
Yes.
All right, but either way, so you feel like it's things are created based on a source, and you kind of witness it through duality and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Okay. In terms of spirituality, like, where did your journey start? Like, how did things start off for you? Because you grew up in a religious background.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I definitely grew up Christian.
Okay.
We live in the Western Hemisphere.
Facts.
We live in a Westernized society. So Christ is Almighty, right? But I mean, I think as I've gotten older, I remember specifically being like about 16 or so, kid, and like I was in a church, and I was talking to, I think, the pastor's son. Like
right.
The pastor's son probably was in his 30s, so.
Got you.
And I asked him a specific question about religion. It doesn't, like, it's escaping me right now, right? And I asked him, right? And when I asked him, he didn't know how to answer it. And I'm like, kid, like, you, the pastor's son. Like, nigga, you should know.
If anybody
besides maybe the pastor, nigga, you should know the answer to this question.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like, he almost got more frustrated with me
right.
than like answered the question. I'm like, hold up. not only do you not know the answer, nigga, you ain't even acting Christ-like. You know what I mean? So like,
hypocrite.
Not just hypocritical, but like it's like, oh, like
you're ignorant to it too.
You're ignorant, and then on top of that, you're almost angry at me for asking the question. You know what I mean?
Because it's exposing a lot.
What he doesn't know about the religion himself. So I was like, ooh. I was like, so in one sense or the next, I think that kind of turned me on to saying, hold up. You know, literally, I hate to say I judged the whole entire religion by a person, but I did.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Because
at 16, I'm like, oh yeah, you know this is real. And then like, I'm like, you of all people should know this. So you don't know this? This shit can't be real.
That kind of like pull the veil from your eyes.
Yeah, like you know that I guess I was naive in a sense, and it kind of like made me recognize reality. You feel me? So I was like, oh. And ever since then, I've kind of been on this quest to try to figure out and piece together things as I see them. You know what I'm saying? So
what it sounds like, because it's funny because you said the same thing.
Yeah. It's funny you remembered. I'm impressed.
I mean, we listened to the podcast about 500 times just to make sure it was right.
It's still you. I'm surprised that you remembered. But it's kind of the same story with me. I asked the teacher for my class. It's not even a student. This is a teacher who was supposed to be the next in line for the pastor.
Right.
And I asked him a question. It was the whole biblical verse. I think it's in Leviticus. Wasn't it the other day we were talking about it?
Yeah, you didn't mention it on that one, so you can mention it now.
Yeah, I think it was in Leviticus where it was asking or saying that that the story was an allegory or so I asked him, like, I know what an allegory is, and if it's saying that this story is an allegory, everything else like is based on this premise. So can you explain that to me? And like they shunned my ass and told me to go sit at the back bench and I shouldn't question God and da 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 da. And I'm like,
and it's funny because to me it's why would you be upset at that?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is the source of the rules that you guys live by. This is the source that so many people have structured their belief, their morals on. So it's like, why would you skip over something that's clearly giving you more context to it? You know what I'm saying? Unless you yourself realize the flaws in it, the chinks in the armor. Right. And to me, I've always said that even just growing up, a lot of these stories felt like that. They're stories, like lessons. You know what I'm saying? Like when you read a children's book and it takes you through this wild adventure just to teach you a lesson at the end. You feel what I'm saying? Right. And why would the Bible now be any different? Because you remember the book back in the day when we was kids. Yeah, I don't know. You probably had it too. It was like an orange book, and it literally was like a bunch of Bible stories.
Oh
bro.
Yeah,
I don't remember that specific story, but I had like something like it.
It's called like the book of the Bibles or something like that. It was orange and it had
like color, the pictures and all
were
that.
crisp.
Fam, when I tell you I looked at the end of the world, I said, "Oh shit." Let me go pray.
The pictures were
but it's like it always came off as stories to me. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it was weird that it's weird hearing this from especially from you, for you to ask somebody about that, and because I didn't know that. I didn't know that the Bible actually said that.
Yeah. You know.
Well, not just does it say that, because like sometimes like I'll see people post the Bible verses and I'll go like just research it to see, okay, what is it saying? You feel me? Like why was this person inspired by it? But anytime, at least as a historian, I look back into history, kid, all of the ancients, whether it's Egypt, whether it's Babylonia, wherever you want to go, all of the stories are mythologies.
Yeah.
Right.
They were all created to be that.
Right.
Like they spoke in a almost metaphorical language to kind of teach you a lesson. You know what I'm saying? So, and when you kind of come to that understanding, you're like, oh. So even some of the concepts of God are literal ideologies. And they're literally saying like, yo, this isn't real, but this is something that you're supposed to aspire to.
Yeah.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
well said.
And I think that's probably why a lot of the times people they shy away from certain things, because it pretty much exposed that.
Yeah.
Because then now at a point, now what you're doing is if people live by that, what he's saying, they'll take more power and pride in themselves. And not have somebody hovering over them, wagging that finger again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's no control in that. Because now you're empowering somebody to be their own God.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And then I do feel like a lot of the Christianity specifically too, I mean, that's what we're speaking on, is used to control people. It's used to divide. It's used to keep people in a certain place.
Yeah,
like,
man.
that's what they did to our people.
Oh, listen. Who was it? Was it Karl Marx? So I can't remember who it was. I think it was Marx. He said, "Religion is the opiate of the people." Right? Sheesh. Opium has the ability to kind of make you like relaxed and almost sleepy and almost in a dead state, if you will. So it quells that. It quells that rebellion and that revolutionary spirit that you got.
Of course.
So Yeah, without question.
Oh, man,
You know?
appreciate your insight, my boy.
No doubt, no doubt.
It's really nice to hear like a breakdown of your background because I know, but I didn't really know.
Yeah,
but I knew.
yeah, I feel you.
All right, so on the topic of friendship that we're gonna discuss today, we wanted to first talk about what does friendship mean to you guys? Well, how would you define friendship?
Wow.
Go ahead, my boy.
Okay, so let me collect my thoughts.
Do you want me to go while you collect?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can.
Or if you're ready, you can go on.
I mean, listen, go ahead.
You sound like you got it.
Yeah,
I
feel me?
don't. I was
about to
wait.
freestyle it, but
Hold on, because we rappers and shit. We can do what we gotta do.
I just jot something down. But for me, like friendship is it has to be mutual for me. Yeah. And it's on the basis of support, appreciation, acceptance, and it's just as any other relationship.
Yeah.
Any commitment you have with a person, there is no room for expectations from each other. However, you have that level of support coming from that person because you put your trust in that person.
Okay.
If that makes sense to y'all.
It does.
So it's like a mutual understanding, a mutual support between people. Because a friendship has to be more than one person. So
I mean, you could be
friends with yourself, but wow.
It's a medical condition.
Yeah.
Depending on who you ask. But
right. I'd pretty much co-sign everything that you're saying. For
As
me,
you should.
And I should take that back. I disagree with everything that you said. I think
sure not.
Friendship is worthless. And, genuinely, I feel like friendship for me it has always been a connection between one or more. You know what I'm saying?
Two
or
more.
more. Well, I mean one or more because you could be friends with yourself. Like I said, I was joking, but sometimes you need to do that.
Yeah.
Some of y'all niggas need to learn to be alone. That's another topic. My bad.
Yeah.
But between two or more, and a healthy friendship should be on the basis of what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of friendships nowadays are based on that. I think nowadays a lot of friendships are based on convenience, circumstance, setting.
But are those friendships though? Would that encompass
true friendship? What we feel like it is. But I'm assuming that you're about to go the same direction. No. It wouldn't be. But that is what the idea of friendship has become for a lot. I mean, we can attest to me and you probably weren't the closest in high school.
Right. We
had our own clique in high school, our own people that we would consider like real friends or whatever.
Right.
But once we are outside of having to go to the same location every day, does that relationship sustain?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I would agree with you on what true friendship is, but I just don't think that's what friendship is.
That's not the depiction it is in today's society.
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of broken friendships, and
without question.
It's
I guess for me, I think friendship is about like open and having open and clear communication. Giving space and clarity whenever it's like needed. You know what I mean? I think a lot of times we kind of want our friends to be who we want them to be as opposed to giving them the space to grow.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I feel like, you got to give people their time and their space and let them kind of explore parts of themselves without you. And at the same time saying, hey, even though it's been a while, let me check on so-and-so.
Right.
You know what I mean? And not being angry at, y'all not vibing or not seeing each other or talking for a while, because I know there's been times with me and you like, yo, we would literally go like a year, 2 years and not even say what's up to each other, but like every time we linked up it was like, oh, what's good, bro, like how you feeling, like what's up, how's everything, you know what I mean?
And it would be like a real conversation, because I remember like when I dipped out from after high school, I moved to Jamaica and I came back. We had just linked up because I feel like we was doing music while I was in Jamaica. We was trying to find a way to make that work, and when we came back, bro, I came to your crib, but we was there for hours just chopping it up, trying to figure some shit out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I agree. I really do agree. I feel like a lot of the times, like you said, what happens is, and we talked about this, Jen, people have these expectations and they put these expectations on other people.
They do.
And it becomes more of a selfish in a negative way. Yeah. Like a selfish need for somebody to fill some type of void that you have missing.
That's true.
You feel what I'm saying?
Matter of fact, Loki, I got a story about that. two stories, but
expose them.
The first one is I remember like a couple well, let's go back a little bit. So about like 6-7 years ago, had a homegirl. We cool. Everything we started building, we was real close. You know what I'm saying? Like anything in terms of like since she was a girl, she would always help me, with female issues that I have. Like, hey, this girl texted me this. What does this mean?
Right,
shit like that. We bonded on that level. But after a while, when I got out of college and started working and shit, shit just got hectic for me. Like I was trying to do too much at once, and I I guess in one sense or the next, I abandoned or I neglected our friendship.
Right.
And she took that like, oh, we're not friends anymore.
Right.
And I was like, nah, kid. Like I'm like I said, I'm trying to figure out things in my own personal life.
You going through some real shit.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm going through some real shit where I'm like, okay, shit. I'm an adult. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like, and that takes time. You feel me?
And you said college, and that. I mean, I didn't go to college in like a university
or
anything. I went to a community college, but I know that just based on that time period in a lot of people's lives, bro, that's probably the most confusing time.
It's confusing and it's isolating.
Yeah, because you're in limbo between being at home with your parents or transitioning from this state of complacency where your parents
dependency,
into this whole adult lifestyle that you are not prepared for.
Exactly, right.
And a lot of people, it's their first time being away from any type of real stability.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? So,
but yeah, no. So, with her, she was like, oh, like we not friends anymore because we don't stay in contact like we used to. And I'm like, maybe okay. You know what? In all fairness, I probably didn't tell you exactly what I'm going through because I'm just literally living. I don't realize the mistake as I'm making it. Right. I realize kind of, after, hindsight is always 20/20.
For sure.
But shout out to the year. Anyway, but
no, fuck this year.
Fuck for real. But she kind of took that shit hard, and I was like, or she took it like, in the sense like, oh, we not friends. Right, and I realized that perception is a hell of a thing. And interpretation is a hell of a thing. Right. You get me? And I was like, yo, like you interpreting this as I don't want to fuck with you. I'm like, nigga, like my life is just hard right now. I'm just trying to figure shit out. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was like, do I really? And like, I've been kind of wrestling with the idea of like, do I still want to be friends with this person? Right. You feel me? And I'm like, I do. But it's like, is it worth saving if I'm doing some or even most of the work? You know what I'm saying? Whereas the second story is, when me and one of my homegirls, we linked, or me and her lost contact because she had a boyfriend who was a little crazy or whatever. He didn't want her to have male friends, and I was like, okay, but so she was in a relationship for like 4 or 5 years. I didn't see her since literally like the first vent. Right. You know what I mean? And like this year we linked up, and like it was like no time had escaped us at all. You know what I mean? And there wasn't any like beef. There was no like, oh, you abandoned me. I was like, hey, listen, you with your man. Hey, I'm not gonna fight you. It's a respect factor. It's not just a respect factor. It's I interpreted it different. Right. I perceived it different. I didn't feel abandoned. I didn't feel like there was something wrong with me or you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Okay, so with that, right? With you interpreted it different, what exactly is a quality that you think is a must in a friendship? Because it seems that was the difference between you and the first situation. Yeah. What she might have thought of what I need in a friendship was different from what you needed, and that's probably where the disconnect happened. So what do you feel like is a must in a friendship?
I think more of the same. You have to give people the room to be themselves.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you have to allow them to be an individual. You see what I'm saying? And I guess for me, maybe I don't know, maybe it's the way I was raised. I'm like supremely independent, right?
For sure.
Which can cripple friendships to some extent, or even certain relationships. Right. However, you kind of have to give me that wiggle room to kind of be myself, and I'll do the same. Whereas for you, you have to have it. You have to you interpret it as this thing has to be maintained. Right, and if it's not maintained, then there's something wrong with us or with you or with me. You see what I'm saying? Right. So I guess for me, the healthy part of it is I'm gonna let you do your thing because I know at the end of the day, like I'm solid, and I'm expecting you to be too. Right. I'm expecting that. I'm not expecting us to actually have to work, but we are going when we link. It's gonna be a build. It's gonna be it's gonna be what it is. Right. But at the same time, it doesn't have to be something that's so tedious. That's so like, damn, like I gotta make sure this shit works. Like it's not a job. Yeah. It's something that we're generally and mutually, like you said, like working towards. And that's what I think is a healthy friendship.
I mean, when woman can't look for me.
Because I'm about to ask you the same thing for you. Because I feel like the closest people in my life have similar ways of just operating. Like we're all different within ourselves, right? We all have a different way of communicating, slangs, whatever, background, all that shit. But when it comes down to our core, like the few people that I consider like genuine homies, like that I know that I don't even got to worry about in terms of like the link itself. You know what I'm saying? They operate like I do. Right. So I want to know from you too, Jen, like what is something that's a must for you in friendship?
No one make me laugh so much, can't stand it. But I have to
I ain't even do shit. You know what I'm talking about? This podcast gonna end at episode 10, nigga. Season 1 and it's over.
That's you, because my 12 go continue.
And 57 gonna move strong.
So for me,
and I'm taking Pari too, pussy.
So for me, I have to agree with what Terall said, which is acceptance. Basically, you have to accept and allow that person to be who they are. The free will to.
Oh
because
shit! I found my chip. My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I dropped a chip here earlier in the studio.
Like a chips?
Like actual chips, salt and vinegar, best flavor ever.
No one was debating it.
I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up, and you pick up where you started. Left off. Go ahead.
You got E.T.?
That's debatable.
That's the
I joke, but I'm not E.T. Go ahead, my boy. What you talking about?
No, you're gonna name me chips? You're disgusting.
I didn't eat the chips. Stop playing, bro. And there's a camera on.
We're gonna watch the chip.
Right,
so yeah, for me, it's acceptance, and then also with acceptance, I think that goes hand in hand with understanding, like understanding, because basically when you go into a friendship, you already know the person you're going into this friendship with, and you've grown and developed a relationship where you should understand how that person communicates. You should understand that person's language, their need for space, their need for like certain things. So when for you where you said the time has passed and your friend interpreted as you guys not being friends anymore, like that's me. Like I need space from any form of commitment or relationship. Yeah, I need space. Even family members, like I need a space where I'm not obligated to you and you're not obligated to me. Facts. But nothing changes. Like that does not affect the way our friendship is developing or has developed. Like there is no factor that influence that friendship because there's a space. I need a space to grow or a space to be or a space to be free. Right. So I think for me, acceptance and understanding.
So one thing that you said on that mindless rant was
you know what?
I joke. I finish it.
Was
that you should know the person. So because I think what happens is people tend to for whatever reason, right? People tend to put friendships on a lower level as if it's not still a relationship, just because it's platonic and not intimate, right? And I've seen it with situations where somebody gets in an intimate relationship and their friendships kind of just fade away, and then it's a switch once they're single again. And then just to touch back on what you said, saying that you should know the person that you're going to be friends with. So do you feel like there's a process in growing into friends? Because a lot of times now you link up one time and instantly, yeah, that's my friend, and like people really genuinely feel that type of attachment to you. So you tell me a little bit about when is it there a point where you're like, okay, no, this person is my friend, like a genuine friend.
Like, so I think experiences, even though time is a concept, you need time to understand and know that person. Right. It's just like a relationship. The only difference is there's no intimacy. And some of y'all out here, but
I mean, and okay.
That's that's on that. When I'm talking about a platonic relationship.
Yeah. Sometimes you and your friend them need for the, you know what I mean?
No.
When there's a nice like a girl, is it me?
No. So
a nice like a thing behind her, is it me?
You asked me a question or not?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yes. So
I got 5 more times to interrupt you. I'm counting this one.
Why? You're counting from the last podcast?
Yeah, and I feel like I did too much, so I'm trying to find a balance.
So how about no time?
No, this is 7. So I 7 in total. So I did 2 so far. So I got 5 more. Go ahead.
All right, the 2 can't play that game. I don't want to so. But anyways,
it's a dope movie too.
So you have 4 more.
No. That was a conversation.
3 more. So So for
now
me,
I'm gonna do 10.
2 more.
I get you.
1 more. So for me, it's time and Terall.
Yo.
We don't have to do this. So it's time, experiences, sharing memories.
Yeah.
And just you're gonna get to that point. It's just like a relationship. You get to that point where there's a mutual understanding between you two that this has become more than just me and you hanging out. This is a friendship at this point.
Right.
And once you've stepped into that friendship zone, and friendship could be, some people become friends 2 weeks, 3 weeks. That's on you. But once you step into that commitment, you should honor that commitment as a friend. So the being trustworthy, being understanding, being accepting of that person, being honest with that person, being raw and vulnerable and your authentic self with that person. I always say over and over to everyone, my clients, because I be having clients out here.
Go ahead, plug yourself.
She doing her thing.
You know what I'm saying? I always say, if you're not able to take your armor off with the people you love, it is not love.
Right.
So if you cannot be your raw, authentic, vulnerable self with the person you claim to love, that is not love. It's either it's just a level of complacency, or it's just your need to be your need for companionship. But if you can't be your raw, authentic self, it's not love. So just like that with a friendship, if you cannot be
right now.
Yeah, I'm saying, I'm
You
just
just
out here.
speaking
right
bro.
now.
I ain't
Okay.
go front.
Listen.
All right,
That's why I
put a
gotta
little
interrupt
sauce
her,
on
because I
that.
can't have her go too crazy. I'm saying, because sometimes you gotta humble MJ. When Michael Jordan be going too crazy, you gotta like.
Oh, I
know what
thought
I'm
you meant
saying?
me, because
That's what I'm talking about. You.
People be
I'm
calling me
comparing you to
MJ
MJ.
now.
Nobody has ever until just now.
No.
Like, you can't even let me compliment you.
Listen,
I know,
why?
yeah,
You're not
listen.
in high school, and my high schoolers can, because my name is Janelle McFarlane.
So they call you JM.
No, they just say, because JM don't sound cool.
So they would say MJ.
MJ, and I'm saying, because I'll be up there with the greats.
Name another great.
Michael Jackson.
And Michael Jackson played basketball?
No, you said MJ. Name another great MJ.
Oh, I was talking about just in basketball.
Oh, basketball, you got
Motherfucking
LeBron.
LeBron what?
LeBron. Wait.
Yo, you really don't know?
Curry?
LeBron Curry? LeBron Curry.
No,
that's it.
Stephen.
Steffi?
No, it's
Stephanie Curry.
It's Stephen Curry.
Steve, there it is. There it is. That's it. I had no idea.
Stephen Curry and LeBron. Like, it's right there.
Yeah, I know. It's almost like James.
Yeah, that's right there. Damn, my armpit itching.
Is that the armpit hairs?
It's probably, no, because they're clean. They're clean. Yes. Coming for the spiritual community, because we have armpit hair.
Hey, keep it a buck.
Yeah.
Every girl that said, we ain't gonna do it.
He, on the first podcast, he says every spiritual person he knows that is like really deep into spirituality, they have armpit hair.
Like
Armpit hair.
Like they grow out their armpit hair.
Ooh. I'm trying to think like, damn.
And why is it a problem to you?
It's not, I specifically said it's not a problem.
As far as I've seen, most do, but I haven't. I wouldn't say all do.
Thank you, Terall.
But
it's it's enough.
Yeah, it's enough. It's enough to be a stereotype. Let's put it like that.
I guess.
I'm keeping it above.
And we were talking about stereotypes, so I was well within my right to say they got armpit hair, they wear long baggy clothes, and they hug trees.
No, they don't. You've never met a person who hugged trees.
I've literally met somebody that, you know what? You gonna act like she ain't hug a tree? Jen, look at me. She ain't hug a tree? Yeah, look at the water, nigga.
Look at the crystal. But
okay, all right. So let's get back on topic. And Jen, stop interrupting me.
I've never interrupted you.
There we go. There it is right there.
Yeah.
This is the shit that I got to deal with.
You said something that warranted a response.
So now that we've asked what's a must, right?
Yeah.
What is something that you consider a deal breaker?
Ooh,
in
a
friendship?
deal breaker in friendship. Ooh.
Like nothing that is something that for a fact you cannot get past.
The first thing that comes to mind is lack of accountability.
Ooh.
Oh.
Jesus.
Have you been listening to the podcast as it's been on release, my boy?
I mean, bro, like I don't even have to, kid, but like just on a certain level, kid, like especially as we get older.
Kid.
People, I think what happens is that people kind of want to still be stuck in this like childlike mentality. Yeah. And they literally don't want to embrace what adulthood is, which is like, yo, you have to be responsible and accountable for whatever you do, you know what I'm saying?
For a fact.
So I think that's the first big one, you know what I'm saying? At least for me.
What about you, Jim?
Oh. So you took my answer.
Accountability.
I wasn't gonna say it, but once you said it,
Yeah.
That was
I'm
the
like,
answer.
I was like, that was my answer right there.
Damn. Yeah.
But
She's full of shit. Don't worry.
I am. Loyalty, maybe lack of loyalty, because
100%.
you need
100%.
you need that person to have your back at the end of the day. This is somebody you trust with your person, like you trust this person, with your life if that's your friend,
Right.
and you expect them to have a certain level of loyalty for you.
Right.
That you know if you're not there, they're holding you down.
Right.
So I think if that person isn't loyal, the friendship is going to crumble.
And I think that's between
Them
all
two.
three of us.
Yeah. for a fact.
I feel like those two things are something that we all have. We share with each other, right? When it comes to loyalty, I feel that both y'all got my back 100%. As much as we talk shit, Jen. I know that y'all got my back.
When it
and
come down to it.
You know what I'm saying? And I know y'all know that I got y'all back at the same time. And then also the accountability aspect.
Yeah.
Like you hold me accountable, you hold
Period.
me accountable, and then
And
vice versa.
Yeah.
Especially with our business. Like
Yeah.
we can both be like, hey, nah, I definitely fucked up on that.
Right.
We need to tighten up on this or whatever the
Right,
case
right.
is. And it's not like there's no fear in saying that. Like there's no ego in place
Exactly.
where, especially between two black men, I feel like that's important. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like there's no, oh nah, if he's checking me, I gotta
I gotta say something back, or I gotta.
it's
Yeah.
nothing like that. It's
Because
hey,
you know
bruh.
it's not coming from a place of ill intent. Like
For sure.
It's coming from a place of love. It's coming from a place of appreciation for the person. But I want you to do better,
Right.
and I want you to know what you did was not off you
Right,
or of your best self.
And it also comes from a place of knowing, right? Because we know how to talk to each other, and I don't think there's ever been an issue in terms of like disrespect.
Yeah.
It just I wouldn't want somebody to talk to me like that,
Right.
so I would never talk to him like that, and it's vice versa. You feel what I'm saying? Like we just have this, we have similar like morals in terms of. And principles in terms of like stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then with me and you, we talk reckless to each other.
You mostly talk reckless to me.
And you play victim a lot.
I try to defend myself, but because I don't know a lot of the slangs that you be sending my
I want
way.
you to know we have video now, so we can see the sarcasm on your face.
I'm not sarcastic.
Actually, I think that shit went off. But yeah,
God damn, put it on her. Let us see
that's
it.
sarcasm. Wait.
Yep, smiling all in the camera. But nah, we have an understanding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for me, that is the most important part. That's one of the deal breakers for me. For somebody who is unable to understand me. A lot of the other stuff kind of falls in line after that. Because if you understand who I am, then there's certain things you just won't do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For me, it's heavy on the understanding and heavy on the personal space. Like I need my space. I need somebody who knows, like, bruh, this nigga might disappear for a minute, but when he come back, it's work. You feel me? We gonna get it in. We gonna do what we gotta do. Cause, like you said, bro, we all have things that we're going through. We all have things that we're dealing with.
Right.
And just like I wouldn't expect you to always have to be there whenever I need you, I want you to show me that same respect. You feel me? And I know we understand each other to the point where it's if you need something, I'm never gonna look at it like, oh nah, bro, they only hit me up when they need me.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
for me, when I hear people say that, it's like, nah, that's not your friend, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, that's
You know what
true.
I'm saying? Like, if they always hitting you up because they need you, dog, they need you.
Yeah.
Or maybe y'all just not really on the level that y'all think.
Right. That could be the other one.
I would never look at it y'all could hit me up 100 times a day for something like, yo, nah, I need, and I would understand like, nah, because of the relationship we have, the understanding that we've had, the relationship we've built, nah, they need something. Let me go handle that. Let me do what I can if I'm capable.
I think that was gonna be my point too. I think in friendships, you kind of have there's a building period too.
For sure.
And it's funny because sometimes like I ain't even like with, okay, like say for example with me and you.
Yeah.
One of the things that I didn't even realize that I was doing or we was building was trust.
Right.
You feel me? Like I was like, hey yo, Daley, hey bro, can I borrow X amount of money?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
and then you would pay me back, and then or I would ask for it, you'll give it to me, and then like anytime you'll call me, I'll be like, oh yeah, my bad, bro. And it was just you feel me? And it was like, and like I'm literally seeing some of my friends who are going through shit where like people don't give them their money back. Or people do, and I'm like, yo, that fucks up friendships, kid.
Heavy.
Heavy. And
Me
I
and
was
you
like,
never, because it always kind of ended up being like when I was down, he had it.
Right.
And if you was down, I had it.
Right.
Or if we're both down, it'll just be like, hey, bro, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you.
Right. Yeah.
I ain't got it.
Right.
But look, I'm gonna hit a play. Like I got something coming up in the next couple weeks. So if you need that, I got you. And it was a dope to witness that because there was a time period, bro, where like shit, we were both pretty much jobless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
We was trying to put together shit, and I'd be like, yo, and it wouldn't be nothing crazy. But even if it was, it's like, bro, if I got it, you cool. I'd be like, yo, bro, look, let me hold $10 real quick, my boy. He be like, all right, nigga, Cash App? I'm like, yeah, good looking, bro. I'm gonna get you back next week or so.
Right.
And it would be like, because I don't think there's ever been a time where like neither one of us has had to ask for it.
Right.
Because one, it's also like bro, I know that's my dog. You feel me? Like we done been through shit to the point where like, I ain't gonna trip over some fucking $10.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's been times it got to a point where we didn't even pay each other back. It was just
it was like, my bad, bro. I owed you this.
Yeah, and they'd be like, oh shit, my fault, I didn't even remember. You know what I'm saying? Like,
saying I ain't gonna hold you.
I ain't even gonna hold you, my boy. But like when it comes to Jen, like I need that shit back expeditiously. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Expeditiously.
I never pay you back.
Yeah, it's kind of. I'm adding it up though. I got a list.
That's fine.
You had
That's
about
on you.
4,067.
That's on you.
67.
That's on you right there. That's a personal problem.
That's on you right
That's
now.
on you.
I mean, that's gonna be on you when I rob you.
I ain't gonna hold you, my guy.
All right, so look, the reason why she was laughing earlier when you said kid, Jen is learning Ebonics as she's around us.
Okay.
I'm submerged. I'm
Shut
out
your
here.
ass up, bro. So every time she hears a cool little world, she's like, So this entire week, she finally heard me say, I ain't gonna hold you. So she's been like, say I ain't gonna hold you, bro.
Yo, the first time I heard it, Terall, I was like, why you gonna hold me for? Hold me why? Like,
what are you putting your hands on me?
Right.
I was like, nah.
What are you holding?
I ain't gonna hold you, but that shit funny, boy. I ain't gonna hold you, Mike.
Hey, I promise.
Hey, question, Jen, do you have TikTok?
No.
Dog, download TikTok. You'll learn every single form of Ebonics there is.
You and Tony trying to get me to download TikTok.
You being around Tony and Ari, bro, like she literally her entire mannerisms and language has become TikTok. Like it's annoying as fuck.
It's not. It's funny.
Well, it depends. Like, and the reason why I'm saying like get TikTok because you'll hear the difference between like New York slang and Southern slang and Cali slang and Midwest slang or whatever. And you'll see the difference. Like, cause that's a New York thing. Like, oh, I ain't gonna hold you, kid. Like, you feel me? So
even saying shit like kid,
right? Or even saying shit like kid. Like, depending on where it's from. Like, I've heard Miami niggas say that. Right? Like.
Oh no, we
like,
say
I got
Miami
you,
say we say jit.
I mean,
I taught her that.
Yeah, we do say jit.
It's more jit.
Yeah.
But when you say jit, it's never like kid. Kid is not really used to like son somebody.
Right.
It's like a term of endearment. Like you can say kid on a level. When you say jit, you usually sonning somebody. Like it's somebody below you.
Yeah, somebody below you, shorter than you.
I only found out what that meant the other day, like probably a week now, and I hear them saying, I'm like, damn, then who is Jit? I never met Jit in my life. And at the studio, that's all they be talking. I'm like, damn.
Like, nah, Jit had
Jit
that
tripping,
shit.
kid. Yeah. Like, what you talking about? Yeah.
And I'm like, I never seen Jit come around.
Hey, you know what OG is?
Original gangster.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
But like when they say OG, like my OG,
it's an older person.
Yes, as well. But it's more like family orange. Like, yo, my mom's, my old girl, my old boy.
Why you gonna talk about your mother like that? I don't like that
one.
It's
not disrespectful.
It's not disrespectful.
I don't like it.
Why not?
It just sounds...
In Caribbean culture, I can see y'all call somebody old.
Yeah,
so like,
right. Well, I mean, but even then, like when you say like old girl or OG, like if I'm talking to my mom, like it shouldn't be seen as a term of. It should be seen as a term of endearment. Even because I remember when I was like 14, 15, I had put in my phone my mom's contact as old girl. She was like, "We are call old," and I was like, I'm like, Mom, it's just a slang. It's not like anything.
That Caribbean shit is different, bro.
And hey, you know what I've learned, kid? Funny enough. Believe it or not, in African culture, being an elder is something to aspire to.
Yeah, it's respected.
And in Western culture and white culture, kid, like being old is frowned upon.
You know why? I got it.
Why?
Because black don't crack and white look disgusting. White people, when they get to 45, they be looking like 76.
You are annoying.
Keep it a buck, my boy. Look, I'll be at work, my G, right? So we in the cut, we vibing or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shit ain't really popping or whatever. So
right.
it's integrated. There's a lot of black people, there's a few white people as well, right? It's mixed, Hispanic and all that shit.
Right.
The Hispanics is a 50-50 toss-up. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they be looking like, you feel me? Sometimes they be crinkled. You feel me?
Yeah, she
She laughing, but it's a fact.
And to be honest, to his point, some Hispanic people got more black blood in them, and they
and that's why they look like that.
Right.
Why you think? I mean, J-Lo got money too, but she done had so much black people inside. I mean, a part of
her being.
Carl, Terrell, we're not gonna do.
Oh Lord.
Hey, Bow Wow had a line back in the day on Rap City Basement. He was like, J-Lo, I don't know. I don't want to go where everybody's been. So I ain't the one that said it.
You don't need to repeat it. It's not a thing.
All right, cool. I'm joking. But real talk. So we be at work. We vibing, right?
He's 57.
Who's 57?
Go on.
No, you trying to get me separated from the 12. That's fine. I don't want that shit.
Yeah.
So I be at work vibing, and we all just chopping it up. And, I talk my shit. I be like, yeah, man, y'all old heads be fucking tripping, bro. Like, who you calling old? So I'm like, all right. I don't want to say their real name. So what's a black name that's not disrespectful for me to say?
Oh, yikes.
Because I don't want to say like Shaquille Shaw. They're like, why she got to be that?
Like a
Tracy.
Okay.
Let's just say,
or a Pam.
That's somebody at work too. Fuck.
Patrice.
There we go.
Okay.
So say Patrice is a black woman, right? So Patrice would be like, well, I'm 65. And I'm like, God damn. Yo, fine ass for 65, looking like you 42.
I know who you're talking. Is that the lady?
Oh, yeah.
She looks so young.
She looks dumb young, right? Like you can tell she's an older woman. Like you can tell she's grown for a fact.
Right.
But when she tell you her age, you be putting it together. You're like, hold on, shorty.
God damn. Hey, Miss Johnson.
Hey, yes, I said, hi, Miss Parker. You feel me? Right. Then you got Suzanne.
Okay.
Another Suzanne.
Suzanne be like, well, I'm only 43. And I'm like, oh. The fuck? You sure? Shawty be looking like 70, bro. Like dead serious old as shit. And I'm like, bro, like, what is it? And I want to ask you, because I feel like you know
phenotypes and shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like I could tell the jokey side of that shit, but I don't know the actual science of it or the genes breakdown. I just always heard we have the superior genes, especially when we get older, we tend to look a lot younger. Right. You know what I'm saying? So what is it exactly?
Oof.
We a little off topic, but this is why we got my boy here, because you know what I'm saying?
I mean, as far as I could tell, well, one of the fastest aging factors that I know of is sunlight. Okay. Right? So the lack of melanin would obviously produce a quicker age in people who don't got melanin or people who have less melanin. You get me? So that's one.
So being affected by the sun more can age your skin.
Yeah. Okay, and even let's say even for black people, like if you go back like 50 years or so, right? And you look at some of the pictures of people who are in their 50s or 60s, they'll look a little older, and it's because they probably did outside work.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? So having too much exposure to sunlight can age you quick. Another thing too is culture, vibrancy. You name it. Kid. Like there's a stress factors. It just depends.
We're better.
Yeah, for the most part.
I just wanted to get that certified and stamped, and it's over. Black people win.
Ding, 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 ding.
We love y'all too, bro. My caucus is sis. Y'all cool sometimes.
Yeah, some white people cool.
I like it. Some of y'all niggas cool.
Nah, straight up. Like some of y'all, some white people are like pretty decent people, bro. And like all two of y'all is cool. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just playing. But like on a sincere level, like there's some white people who like I can
they understand.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're understanding
and they acknowledge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They hold themselves accountable.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, and we've had a little bit more experience with. Oh, and actually, no, you were in Wyoming. We never really touched on that, right? So, in the spirit of friendship, right? Because I'm gonna try to keep everything in the realm. In the spirit of friendship, do you feel like somebody of another race who doesn't necessarily understand your culture can really truly be somebody of a genuine friend to you? Do you think that's possible?
Not in my experience, but it's probably possible. But I see where like I've not been friends, but I've accommodated being in Wyoming. I've accommodated white people, and they try to understand, but there's always that level of bias and the conditioning from their parents, and I don't have time to sit there and help you unravel that.
Right.
And even though they say they're your friends, they do not have your best interest at heart. That's just my experience.
Which is fine.
Right.
Which
That's
is fine.
just and they'll be like, oh, I like you, but that one over there,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
mentality.
That's me too. Like that's an extension of me. That those are my people.
Right.
So it's like me telling you, I'm cool with you,
But
your grandma,
you know, that motherfucker down the street,
And
you know,
the sad thing is, I feel like when we say we have actual valid reasons
Yeah.
to say it,
Right.
it's because like we're feeling the hatred or whatever vibe that person's giving us. Like a lot of the times for us, they move off just a strict stereotype
Yeah.
or what they've been conditioned to think without trying to further inform themselves or further integrate themselves into the culture without appropriating it. You know what I'm saying? Like. When we say that for them, it's like, nah, G, like I'm saying that because
based on experience.
I genuinely have bad experience with a lot of y'all.
It's true.
For you, they can never really say that.
It's true because when I first went to Wyoming, so you know you go, you're gonna have to go grab your weather stuff. Yeah. And me and my dad were at the Walmart, and this lady, she's in the entertainment section because my brother was getting a game for his Xbox, and she was like, "Where in Africa are you from?" Like, so my dad don't entertain. He don't have time. He's like, just catch me out there, so just catch me out there, so. It's like, sir, what are you saying? Like, and she kept asking like, where in Africa are you from? And no one is like giving her any attention. And she was like genuinely like asking over and over. We were getting our receipts, and she was like, where in Africa are you from? We went back and we saw that same woman, and she kept asking.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Next time a white person asks me that, like if they, where are you from? I'm like, I'm gonna say, you know, Miami. Where in Europe are you from, kid? Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, what country is it? Switzerland or England or
Sweden?
What place did your ancestors take over that you're currently claiming?
Right? You feel me?
It's so. I think that kind of
bitch.
You are so annoying. I think that that's the reason why it influences my decision. Not my decision, but my answer as to if they're able to be genuine friends or I'm able to form genuine friendships with them. From my experience, I don't think it was possible. And I don't think I'm in the space right now where.
To your point, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm like, like I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're going.
Like I don't.
Like, yo, kill them all. Terrell.
That's not what I thought you were gonna say.
Nah.
But I mean, I know there are white folks out here that are genuine allies, and I see them trying.
Right.
But in terms of forming friendships with them, because one, they have to dismantle not only their conditioning, but step away from their parents and also holding them accountable, their grandparents. And if you're not going to do that, how could you be genuine friends with me?
Shit, a lot of our own people don't want to do that. So
you know
it's hard enough to connect.
Right.
But go ahead.
But yeah, no, to I guess to add to your point, that you were about to agree to. I'm tempted to say some crazy shit, but I ain't gonna say it. Anyway, I was gonna say,
nigga, this is the podcast. Do that shit. We gonna get. I told you, 10 episodes. We out.
No, but what you? Okay, so I was listening to somebody on Cannon's class. They, for whatever reason, I think Nick Cannon took that shit off. But anyway, I don't know if you ever heard of Dr. Joy DeGruy. No. She's the author of this book called Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome.
Okay.
Right. So, and she's her work is in clinical psychology. The title, but yeah, no. But basically, she said, look, black people and white people have different value systems, and I was like, okay. And she says white people were taught to, or they place the highest value in objects and ascertaining the objects.
Okay.
And black people place the highest value in relationships. Right. So, in terms of how white people and black people look at things, she was saying one of the biggest things that white people, they can't understand is anything outside of objectivity, right? So when you look at the way men treat women in this society, men literally call their wives trophies.
Right.
Right? The highest award you can get in music is a Grammy.
Right.
Right? The thing that Christopher Columbus is known for is discovering a place or an object. Right. That was unknown to the outside world or to the white world.
It's
right?
a material.
It's a material, physical thing.
Tangible.
Right. It's a tangible thing. For black people, it's quite the opposite. For black people, we place the highest value in this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Connection,
It don't matter what
relationship.
you got. Like if I'm in a classroom with a black child, right? For example, and she said, when you talking to a Taquisha, for example, right? She says, no matter what you're doing with that child, whether it's math, whether it's whatever, you can't try to get that child to learn for a golden star or for some little ticket or a little trinket. You have to get them to like you, and then they'll start to work. You have to build a relationship with that child first.
Right.
For a little Timmy or a little Sally, you can give them that little point or that little thing, and that'll motivate them. But you can't do that with a black child. You can't. The biggest form for us is you have to be able to relate to me. Hey, like she said literally, if you ask a little Shaquisha, if you ask her, hey, you know what? Listen, I know the homework is hard, but get it done for me, right? And then like she actually did that in a classroom setting, and it worked.
Right.
You feel me? Whereas when she said, like, I don't want to go off into too much of a tangent, but she was basically saying her son went to a movie theater and he had a white friend or whatever.
Right.
And the white family that he was with went into the movie theater before her son, who was black.
Right.
By the time he came, like I think he left some in the car. He came back. He was by himself, but he was like, hey, I was just with my friend's family, Timmy's family. And like, they were like, oh, we need to see ID. But he was like, but I was just with them. Like, what are you talking about? And then he was angry. He took it personal because the relationship was off.
Gotcha.
He felt like you were talking to him crazy. And in our culture, you can't talk to nobody crazy.
Oh, hell no, boy.
You know what I'm saying? So what he ended up doing is he went home, got in contact with his mom. His mom said, all right, let me show you what I'm going to do. So she calls the movie theaters and she says to the movie theater, she says, hey, we know that there was a racial incident that happened. We're gonna bring this to the news. Is there anything that your manager would like to say? And they were like, the white person on the phone was frozen.
Right.
Because now you're threatening their job.
It's
the object, right? It's this position that I've now come to, right? And then the person was like, okay, hold up. Before you go to the news, let me let you talk to my manager.
Now they want to,
now they right, and then so now then the manager was like, now they got free popcorn, extra movie tickets, and they were like, look, the whole point of it was you have to hit them where the object hurts.
Right.
You have to make them look bad. You have to take away their money. Right. One of the biggest things that we keep hearing over and over. Oh, okay, fine. Black people, y'all always mad about how white people treat y'all. Boycott them. Why? Because they place the biggest and the highest value in money.
And the bread.
Because the money is an object. You see what I'm saying? And I was like, so in truth, if we're looking at it in terms of how we value things, we can't fully be friends with a lot of white people because they place the highest value in money.
And we're talking, at this point, we're talking majority. Right?
Majority, yeah. Well, and not just even majority, just culturally.
Culturally, okay.
Right. You feel me? Because if we want to be technical about it, we live in an American society that has different cultures to some extent.
But we also go home to certain.
Right. We all go home and we're most comfortable with a specific culture.
Got you.
And our culture is value, and our culture is relationships, and their culture is objective or value in an object. So
what?
Go ahead.
No, go on.
I was gonna say, do you think that that's the reason why our people are polluted, because the system that we're living in is technically taking us away from what our core values used to be and now placing it into things? Because what I've noticed is a lot of us, we grow up now putting value into things instead of other shit that truly matters. I think we kind of play both sides, because a lot of times when we do try to get things, it's never for ourselves.
Right.
It's really just to kind of like either entertain somebody else or to please somebody else or get the approval of somebody else, which I guess would still be relationship.
Right. Exactly.
So do you feel like there's a conflict there?
Yeah, there is. Right. And that's kind of what kind of fuels racism in a sense. Right. Because when you look at let's look at like a George Floyd or Breonna Taylor, right? What we're seeing is everybody's making an argument for, oh well, she could have did this, or he could have just listened to the officer, and like on the black side, what you're hearing is, but that's a person.
Right,
you get me?
Right.
There's something. This is a human being who had a family. Who
fuck
had
all that other shit.
Fuck all
fuck
all that other shit. Right. Whereas white people are saying like, okay, we get that he's a person, but like he wasn't listening to the officer, because in their mind, that title is almost like an object of value that one has to always submit to.
You're hitting that shit on the head, bro.
You feel me? So you're like, oh, like when she explained, I was like, I kind of had to give myself specific examples, and I'm like, oh shit, now connecting dots that I didn't see before, and I was like, that makes sense.
Because what happens is when I've had these conversations at work, especially in the type of environment that I work in, it gets very frustrating. I'm gonna keep it 100. Like I remember when the George Floyd thing was happening, right? And I went to work, and of course it's a lot of chatter, right? It's a lot of chatter. You got the black people that are feeling like enraged. You got some black people that just don't give a fuck, and you got some black people that are clueless. You know what I'm saying? Like not even aware of what was happening, right? Then you have the white people that are saying things, and that was my reaction to it, because everything that they try to give me was some type of how you would say it was like I'm not gathering the word right now, but like it was pretty much that the value was no longer in the person, right? It was like, yeah, but listen, the rules, right? And no, but if they had, and it's like, fam, like, why are you trying to rationalize?
It's the in that particular scenario, the object is the law,
right?
You feel me? It's the law says this, right? Damn, to hell with the person. The law or that object says, hey, you got to follow the rules regardless. And on top of that, she also said too, she was like, white people, they like the law. For them, because it works for them. They benefit from it. You see what I'm saying? So they don't see any need to change. So it's like
that shit really got to me. I remember I was talking to my boy at work, and like I started crying, bro. Like not even on some, because I don't cry. We had this conversation. Like, I don't cry, bro. Like, but as I was talking about it, I felt frustrated because I'm like, bro, why do I have to explain to a motherfucker that somebody just died? You feel what I'm saying? Like, why is this the argument?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's saying anything else right now, but why the fuck did you kill her? Why did it have to come to that?
Right.
Right? So what I did here, and I want to know if you've heard this as well. Like, I can't remember the exact facts on it, and I hate myself for that shit because I want to be able to at least have something to look back on. But it was there was a study done, and they said that when it comes to white people, they lack empathy. And the thing is, black people, like in terms of like they did like a bunch of races, and they say who had the highest percentage. Said white people lack empathy. Like they have the lowest percentage when it comes to that. The capability to even be empathetic about anything, let alone not even their own family members. Right. Let alone somebody who doesn't even look like them. And they said black people has the highest. Right. So like that also kind of gave me an idea of like there's a disconnect there because we can feel for other people. Right. And I think that's why they've always said that like we've always asked for the bare minimum because it's never about like nigga, it's not about the power. Right. It's not about like nigga, we need to run this shit. It was like, bro, like nigga, just leave me the fuck alone. Right. You feel what I'm saying? But for white people, it's like, nah, G, even if I gotta step over my own mama, it's gonna get done. Right. Right. And that concept for us is like
it's null and void. It's weird.
That's my mama, boy. You tripping. Like no matter what she do to me, my G, that is a staple in our family. Right. But for them, it's almost like they encourage it. Even the fathers, they encourage that, nah, bro, if you gotta go through me, you better go get it. And it's like, gee, what's wrong with y'all, bro?
I mean, we can argue or we can make a whole bunch of kind of examples as to why that is the way it is. And I mean, I've heard a lot of them, you know what I'm saying? I've heard like historical examples and why, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, in African culture, if you look back, like as far as you want to go back in Africa, there was always a plethora of what we needed. Right. You know, whether it's food or our bare minimum things we kind of always had. Right. So the next thing or the next step was to develop relationships. You get me? So even whether it's friendships or whatever, like we just kind of cultivated and developed it to such a degree that like that's the biggest thing for us. Whereas when you think about, I guess the origins of white people, in the Caucasus Mountains, if you will,
the mountains of Caucasus. Right. That is a white baby.
And you kind of put it, and people put it in the context like, you know, this is when, you know, it was hella icy. They were kind of trapped in a mountain range, so to speak. Okay. You feel me? For a long period of time. So it was literally like, you know, I have to get this thing. I have to get this food.
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah, it's a survival of the fittest. Like if I don't get this, I'm not surviving. You know what I mean? Like even to the point where like I read like I think my brother might have told me he was like the average Neanderthal would rape women And I'm like, what the fuck? Like I'm like, why the fuck would they just simply rape women? Like, and I don't even remember the reasoning behind it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was always this, again, the object and the ascertaining of it. Like
Didn't
you
matter.
they have to get whatever they want,
Right, at all costs.
At all costs, because it was I guess a dire and a very desperate time for them, and that kind of shaped a lot of their culture, right? And so now when the Caucasus, when the the ice receded, now that those people now leave the Caucasus Mountains, they're like, okay, now we kind of want to dominate. Right. Obviously, they couldn't do it immediately, but they were already conditioned. They already kind of had their I guess preset notion and ideas and ways of looking at things, because like they lacked everything. So if you lack everything, if you go to a desperate person, they'll do anything. They'll take anything from you. They don't give a fuck. They become savage. They lack empathy.
And you know what the funny thing about that is too, Jenna. I want your opinion on these too. But what the funny thing about that is, because you're stuck in between. You're half black, half white. Is that why? I don't want to put you in a weird position.
Wow.
So what the funny thing is, if we're looking at it from that perspective, right? They have now flipped the board in a sense where they have not put us in that position where like the same things that they have championed, this mindset, this go getter, this by any means, they have now put us in a position where we've had to become those people, and now they're shaming us for it.
Oh yeah.
Do you not feel like there's some type of I mean, like,
of course, like who was it? Malcolm X, who said that the Negro is an American invention. You feel me? Like that's like black people were never supposed to be like this. Like we were created and almost not just socialized and beat into it, but conditioned into it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So like, when you think about it, it's like, damn, that is true. Like we don't, as a people, at least as far as I've studied, I mean, yeah, we had our wars, we had our problems, but it was never to the degree of like, yo, this nigga got J's, I'm about to kill him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there were multiple thriving kingdoms in Africa at the same time.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, sure. Some of them probably they were rivals with one another, or they might want to like take certain levels of power from one another. Sure, but it was never to the degree that like
they need to be decimated completely.
They dehumanized people.
Got you.
They objectified people to such a degree that it's like, yo, like you're not a person. You know what I mean?
I want to ask you one more thing, and then we can jump back into the topic.
Yeah.
Jen, you cool with that? Because I feel like this is
no. Go
good
ahead.
content.
Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you. Fuck, I lost it, my boy.
Good.
What you wanted to say?
I didn't want to say no. You made me miss my points when Terall did that talk.
My bad.
No, you gotta stop me, man. You gotta stop me because when we talking about this shit, then we gotta.
I'll go off on a tangent.
Oh, I got it now.
Yeah. Jesus.
What do you say to people that like to make the rebuttal like, well, Africans had slaves before and they sold other Africans to the Europeans? What would you say to that?
Oh wow, that's funny.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, no, it is. Even if we say that to be true, which if we say well, in certain cases it was right, but if we look at the accuracy of the history, the first thing is in African society, they never objectified you, or rather dehumanized you. They never named you an animal.
Right.
That's the first thing.
Right.
So before we get anywhere else, they never said you were less than a human. They might have treated you badly, sure. They might have done things to you without question, yeah. But they never said you were anything but a person.
Right.
That's one. Two is you were always, your children and your wife or whoever, people in your family were free. You were allowed to marry, you were allowed to have families, you were allowed to build and thrive, you were allowed to have relationships.
You were still allowed to be a person.
You were still allowed to be a person, right? Where in America, like, listen, like, oh yeah, you and Betty Sue, y'all might have jumped the broom yesterday, but if I want to go in, if a white slave master wants to go in and rape your wife, he can do it. You know what I mean? Like there was no honor in that. You know what I'm saying? Thirdly, I think, oh man, I'm losing it. The third thing is,
hey, Cook, my boy, you good?
No. The third thing is, what was it? The simple fact that almost every single country on planet Earth benefited from Africa.
Right.
Its decimation. Okay. You get me? Like every single one, even to this day. You feel me? There was right, you feel me? So like this idea that somehow like, oh well, the carnage stopped. Like we stopped, making you guys slaves, and we stopped doing this, that, and the third. Like, no,
The damage is done.
y'all have literally made us commodities.
Right.
You feel me? And it goes back to the idea of an object, which goes back to the idea of a lot of I would argue most white people can't fully see black people outside of something objective. They can't really relate to our experience because their culture and their mindset and the way in which they were kind of raised is just simply different. You feel me? So
I got you. I appreciate that word, my brother.
Yes.
I appreciate
but
that
yeah, I
word.
remember my point now, Carl. Don't interrupt me.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So based on what you were saying, I was gonna add to that.
yeah.
For me, why I think it won't be feasible for me to have a relationship or a friendship with a white person and feel secure in that friendship is based on what I've been shown and taught by white people.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like I would not be comfortable knowing that I'm giving my full self in this relationship or friendship, but in the back of my head, I'm like, I know what you're calling me. Like that, there's still that trauma because I see it every day. Like this is what you've shown me, and yes, people are gonna say you can't use one, but it's not just it's many. Like
It's too many to isolate.
Right.
And there've been white people that have let into my space, and they've disrespected not only myself, because if you're gonna disrespect my people,
They're disrespecting
you are disrespecting me.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've even had one person from Wyoming said to me, it's not my kind of black that they have issues with. It's the ones that were born here. So I'm like,
yo,
brother, you're not on that sunset. We're the seeing,
I'm like,
we're the seeing
Yeah.
people, dog. Like,
and you know what's funny, kid? I've heard that argument in a lot of ways. I don't understand like what in their mind. I don't understand what the differentiation.
you know
is.
what it is? What I think it is with white folks?
Yeah.
It's because they've been amongst you guys. They've lived amongst you guys. They've seen
Right.
how you live.
Right.
They've created these stereotypes. They've been taught these how to treat you guys inhumanely,
Right.
but they've not been given the opportunity to do that to someone from my country.
right.
They don't know that it happens too. Like they don't know that white people are racist towards us.
Right.
But because they've not been given the opportunity to do that, they don't know how we live. They don't know how we socialize. They don't know
Right.
anything about us.
Right.
And they don't see how other white people treat us.
And I think too they have their own stereotypes about
Yeah, it's a
Islanders.
separate.
And,
It's a separate stereotype.
you know what I'm saying? Like, like even the stereotype of black Americans might have of like Jamaicans. Like, I remember the Wayans brothers. One of them was like, "Oh, so and so have more jobs than the Jamaican." Right.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
some of the negative comments that they'll say about certain Haitian people
Yeah.
because, voodoo or whatever. Right. Like, or, just in general, like they make they make a, I don't know why, a deliberate like difference between black people.
Oh,
here
but they
and
do
black
it. They
people.
do it for a reason, bro. It's the concept of divide and conquer. Because if we all consider ourselves one,
Yeah.
how could they possibly control it all? You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they have to kind of give us subsections where
And-
we'll fight against each other as well.
Right. And they and in their mind they have to make exceptions to the rule. You feel me? Like there has to be this, oh well, I mean I knew all y'all weren't bad, but and I met you and I know you.
Yeah.
But everything else tells me that this is how other black people operate. So I know you, but them, you know what I mean? So yeah.
What's sad for me too is when Caribbean people or people outside of America come here with this stigma of like black Americans are this and black Americans are that.
Yeah.
And I've had that conversation recently with somebody at the time. They were really close to me, and they would make these comments about black Americans, and then like turn around and talk to me like everything's sweet.
Right.
And I'm like, do you not understand that like I've had to live majority of my life as a black American?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My accent can disappear very quickly. You know what I'm saying? My appearance doesn't say Jamaican. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't know my culture or where I grew up from by just looking at me or talking to me. So I've been treated as one of these people that you're now calling this and that.
Right.
When if it was flipped around, you would feel some type of way.
Right.
And then you'd also condemn white people for doing the same thing. And it's like, do you not see the hypocrisy in what you're saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And also the like you're not being insensitive to something without even looking, without even thinking.
Yeah.
Like, damn, like this person that you're so close with, you know my upbringing, you know where I stay at, you know how I talk, you know what my experience is, but you were so quick and confident to go publicly and say all this shit and then come back to me as if nothing happened.
Right.
And it's like, why do you think that's okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, and my biggest issue is that disconnect. I mean, I was blessed enough to be able to witness both.
Yeah, to navigate that line. So
and see both perspectives and have a respect for it. Because I do see the differences, but bro, I tell you, there's more similarities than anything.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you can't allow them to dictate how we look at each other forever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's very true. And to add to your point, we can't allow them, I guess going back to even friendship, we can't allow them to define how, not just we look at each other, but how we're going to be divided amongst one another. Because like one of the biggest arguments I keep hearing on the internet, specifically on Twitter, is that like ADOS or American Descendants of Slavery or Foundational Black Americans, whatever the argument is, they're saying there's a lot of people who will say like rich white people would hire like a Jamaican or a Haitian or somebody who not from here to kind of get them to say, oh, black people, like they'll get a black person who's not from America to say, oh, black people don't need reparations. You know what I mean? Like why do they need reparations? And then when you do the history and find out, oh, sis is like not even from here. So of course she's saying that because reparations for Black Americans
has nothing to do with her. So she gonna get a check for it.
So exactly,
or
you know what I mean?
Or he,
for sure.
Yeah, or he. Or he,
for a fact he.
And matter of fact,
more he than she.
Not even just more he than she. More black. But I would even argue there are some Black American men who just don't like. They really rather side with white people,
bro.
It's like disgusting. Like the dude.
And I think when you were mentioning how Caribbean people hate you, that's what you said, right?
I don't recall. was that funny for you, light skin?
Yeah, it was. Anyways,
okay. That's the beige privilege that she has, you guys. We'll deal with that later. Continue 50%.
Oh Lord.
Fucking. So.
Did you just mouth something? What was that?
No, I was saying like a lot of what I've seen on Twitter or okay, maybe not Twitter, but other social media.
You know damn well your ass ain't on Twitter. She just learned how to tweet this morning, nigga.
It's not
She's
tweet.
Like, how do I go to my profile? Hey, you see the big old blood clot button with your face?
That's not what you said.
Click on that.
That's not what you said. You're
when
like,
I click on that, it goes to profile.
This was him.
Okay, I get it now.
This was him. Oh, Jen. Okay, you go here. Okay.
Y'all seeing that?
You are so fake.
Yeah, I was definitely talking to you like you were a child.
And that's okay.
No, you're
that's
damn right.
appreciated.
And
Thank
you're
you.
older than me.
And that's okay. Because age is just a number. That's okay.
All right, R. Kelly.
Your 57 is gonna be so canceled. So yeah, what I've realized too.
Yeah.
It's like two coins. It's like one coin, two sides. A lot of Black Americans will denounce the blackness of or the struggle of Caribbean people.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So rebuttal is Caribbean people be like, okay, then since we didn't struggle, y'all didn't struggle too, and we tried. Not that we tried, but it's like
struggle each other.
Yeah, it's like it's like a
which is fucking. It's a struggle off. It's like yo, our struggle was this. No, our struggle was that, and it's like
they used to
bro,
be. But they do you not see the common enemy?
Right. Not only common enemy. Hey, bro, you know that they both came from the same place. Like
yeah, so it's
same. We
that
speaking the same language. We just arguing with each other. Like
we just got a different accent.
One was a colonizer, and one just came in. Yeah, no. It's the same thing.
So I just wanted to add that too, like you know, and it's not majority of the Caribbean people because a lot of Caribbean people who comes here and lives here and get to understand because no one is gonna look at us and see, oh, you're a Jamaican. Yeah, right. You're automatically gonna be placed in the box of a Black American. Right. And even when I was in Wyoming, I had to tell people like I'm not a Black American. Mm-hmm. Like yes, I'm Black, but I'm not like not that anything is wrong with being a Black American. Like
you just not you weren't raised here.
Yeah.
Right.
So like sometimes they're like wanting me to attest to the Black American culture or Black American lifestyle. I'm like I don't know. Right. Like I'm only now having the experiences because now you're gonna treat me like a Black American. Mm-hmm. So now I can speak on what I'm experiencing. Right. But before, like, I don't know what was happening. Like, you know, I can't speak to that struggle. Right. But yeah, back to the topic.
Back to the topic. Actually forgot it. Hoes money, I'm the shit. Oh yeah, I'm reminded. What say? Finish that line. What was that?
Young money bucket.
This is embarrassing.
It's something like that though, right?
Not even close.
Who sing it?
That's J. Cole. He's nowhere near Young Money.
No, I was just saying that Young Money can't touch it. I was just throwing in my own line.
Oh, because you got bars.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, look. Okay, go ahead. Sizzle
Light
a little
work.
bit. Just a little bit.
Oh, I thought you were giving me the sizzle. I was capturing it.
Mercy.
Put it up for later.
Okay, so let's wrap up the topic of friendship because I feel like we did dive into a lot of
We did, but we didn't cover the questions that we had. But so quick, let's just run through. What's everybody's longest running friendship?
Yeesh. I'd say it would be the HTG boys. 10 years and counting.
Squad.
Terrell is right around that time too. 9-10 years as well.
Yeah, around that. If I'm gonna cheat,
Do what you
if
gotta
I'm
do.
gonna cheat and say, I'll probably say with me and my older brother. It's been like funny enough. I wouldn't even count my age, but I would say about like 15, 16 years.
Like genuine friendship.
Genuine friendship. Like we actually was like, oh, hey, what's good? Like, started with simple shit like, what's your favorite color? You know what I mean?
Right,
to like,
for sure.
growing into like seeing, the differences of how we are now. So, but outside of that, I would say somewhere, like with Shaq or Pilot.
Yeah.
I would say about 10, 11. Maybe,
If
about
it's
11
Shaq and
years.
Pilot, it'd probably be more than that.
I didn't, but see, I knew them in high school.
Gotcha.
But like, I didn't actually become friends with them until about 12th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you, Jen?
Well, over 15.
Rochelle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the time frame. So
That's a long. It's a long fucking time.
It's a good time. I need my break, Rochelle.
Me take mine out of Rochelle.
What is? Do you think that friendships are necessary to navigate this realm? Like, do you think you need friends, soulmates, however you want to navigate this realm? Yeah,
I
would say so.
Yeah, I used to have this notion of, well, maybe it was. I don't think it was necessarily. I don't think it came from me. I think it's just something that you hear over time, and your parents tell you, say, if you look out for yourself, out of love and shit. But like, people have this mentality of, I got to do this shit myself, get it out the mud. Like, you know what I'm saying, self-made. This is that. And I used to run with that, but you can't do shit by yourself. If we're keeping it 100, bro, like you can't do anything by it. 100 times over before you even get halfway to where you need to be. So yes, I do think you need friendship, genuine, healthy friendships.
When I say friends, like for me, friends, it's always gonna be genuine. I'm not gonna consider you a friend unless it's genuine. So I'm not just gonna throw the term loosely. I said term.
I'm gonna throw the term. The third that I thought.
Yes.
My bad. But to answer to I think we do for a fact, and the reason why is because, as they used to say in church, no man is an island. But more specifically, you know what I'm saying, like just in terms of like fellowship, you know what I'm saying, you need people to kind of help you guide throughout this realm because it's too hard to try to navigate it dolo.
Dolo.
You said navigate this realm? Is that what he said?
I sure did.
But goddamn, my boy, it's like you just know this podcast. You won't be the third member, my boy.
hey, listen, if
we're
I'm
looking
invited,
for a replacement for the 12.
Oh wow.
So you'll carry the feminine energy?
If I have to.
Okay, I see it.
Duality.
I see it.
Okay.
I see it. I do.
Yeah, because you don't have it, so you'd have to see it somewhere else. I'm always loaded, my boy. What's the next question? My queen.
Hold on, sis.
My queen.
Hold on, sis.
Go ahead, my queen.
Is it necessary for us to release friendships that are no longer in alignment with who we are?
Yes.
So you outgrow that friendship. Is it necessary for you to release it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
I'll take yes for 1,000. Hey,
Especially-
rest in peace to Alex Trebek real quick. My bad.
Yeah. Rest in peace for real, because that was good. Anyway, but
peaceful transition. I'm not gonna try.
Oh yeah, my bad. I'm sorry. Peaceful transition to Alex Trebek.
Yes.
He seemed like an ally.
Yeah, he definitely did. But yeah, I think you should, especially when it comes to, I think politics. When politics kind of muddies the water in a friendship, let that shit go, kid. Like when y'all, it's one thing to have, y'all got your personal thing, whatever, or y'all personalities kind of clash, because that's just normal. But when it comes to the deeper side of like, oh, I believe this wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And then the other person's like, whoa, like I'm not even with that at all. And then so at that point,
when your core values start to really differ, because that's what it is for me. Like when your core values is what I really look at. Like little shit like, oh, bro, I don't like partying, but you do. Like that's nothing for me. Bro. We can coexist outside of those places. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
But
right.
yeah, once I start judging your character different, I keep hitting this fucking table. Once I start judging your character different, that's when it got to be
Right.
Okay. All right. Perfect. And the last question that we have here is, are friendships important for social growth and development? And I think we kind of answered that.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah, they are in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
Can you pinpoint a few times within your life that you've seen like okay, this was the moment that I made this change, this was the moment I made this change, and can you tie that to somebody specifically or
I don't know. I would have to say it was always gradual. For me at least. I can't speak for everybody else, but like for me, whether it was with you or with, Pilot or even my lady, kid, like there's been times where I've seen like, oh, okay, I'm kind of becoming who I need to be for this scenario to work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As opposed to and the truth is kind of like it's really who I am. I'm becoming the person I need to be for all of my relationships to kind of flourish, so to speak. So
okay, what about you, Jen?
So for me, I don't know what the question was.
I was saying that
I was gonna wing it.
What I was saying is, can you pinpoint certain points in your life where you've
made changes and tied
like
to a friend?
You've made changes that like affected your life moving forward, and then can you tie it to somebody that you were around at the time or somebody you considered close to you?
Okay, perfect. Thank you for the question, moderator.
Can you spell the word now?
What I would say, to give you like two quick scenarios, like for instance, like with my friendship with Rochelle and I are polar opposites.
Right.
Like Rochelle isn't a person who someone would no Rochelle know her. Rochelle know her, I guess. Like someone wouldn't automatically tie me to Rochelle knowing me.
Yeah. Right.
Like if they know
And
Rochelle,
vice versa.
they wouldn't tie Rochelle and Rochelle to me knowing
like
her.
that too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like for me, understanding that dynamic and getting to see Rochelle, a personality outside of myself.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I can actually coexist with this person, accept her for her flaws, hold her accountable where it needs to be accountable, and then see aspects of her in me that I don't like, or aspects in myself in her, vice versa, that she don't, I don't know.
Just say vice versa. We're good.
Yeah. And
that's
then,
what the word is there for.
Negro. And then, and then with Carl Agias, like, Carl is probably one of the few people that mirrors me, which is very disgusting.
Rare. Oh, I was about to say rare.
No, you my guy.
Hey, you said mirror, so whatever you say is you too.
So when you see like aspect, you're like, people be like, no, you remind me of Carl Ass, and I'm like, because I know him. I'm like, really, that's me? And then you look and you observe that person, and you said, okay, like I can see why that person says. So it's like you see aspects of yourself in that person that you love, and then you see aspects in yourself like you're like, okay, I need to make that change, I need to tweak that, and you just contour yourself basically. It's not like a full change. It's like a contour just to be your better self. Right. If me answer your question, goodie.
No, you did your thing in a
sis.
I mean, you can call me that. I did my bad bitch routine today.
You sure did.
Got my
I
little
have
line
a
up.
question, kid.
Yeah,
So,
Go ahead.
I guess even in regards to friendships or relationships,
I had to pause that for my homies listening, dog. It's a joke. Toxic masculinity. I'm sorry.
Carl?
Okay, so let me not lose my question. Hold up, my bad. So do you guys think it's important to change to not necessarily fit, but to better different relationships, whether they be friendships, whether they be romantic, whether they be what have you? Do you think it's important to make somewhat of a shift?
I'll answer it like this.
You're like ain't gonna send someone away.
Nah, because it's just I want to say I want to be very deliberate with how I'm saying it, very intentional, right? To better the relationship for what reason?
To better the relationship for both of you guys. For growth.
Is it actual growth?
Yes, for actual growth.
100%. Every time.
Peace, comfort.
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time. Because it also, we have to learn to exist. You know what I'm saying? We talk about this. Yes, we can be these spiritual beings with these ideologies and just different beliefs and things like that. But we're also here to experience Earth. You know what I'm saying? We're here to experience this realm, right? So while you're here, you're supposed to try and better yourself. Sometimes you're going to find yourself in situations that on the surface will look like it's super detrimental, but there's something in there that you need to grow from. Now, it's up to you taking that time and knowing yourself, holding yourself accountable, assessing your situation, assessing yourself and who you are, who that person is, and being able to say, okay, me making this change is for the better.
Right.
And not a cop out, not just for comfortability, because the real change happens when you're not comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Once you feel like this doesn't feel right,
You're right.
that means there's something there that needs to be addressed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I hope that answered your question.
No, it did. It
You know what I'm
did.
saying? Yeah.
You remember my question, kid?
She doesn't.
You don't have to come for me like that, Terall. But yes.
No, like, I mean, you was literally leaning on your mic. So I'm like,
I was
legit.
listening. What I would say is, once I don't have to conform, once I don't have to change my core, who I am, what makes me who I am. But if it's me tweaking like aspects of myself that are not in alignment with a better version of myself, then definitely.
Gotcha.
You understand? And you don't have to accommodate anybody, because once it's authentic and it's real, you don't need to accommodate anybody, but you do make changes in order to make coexisting better.
Right.
And to add to that point, real genuine friendships like we're speaking of, it would never feel like I'm doing it for that person.
Yeah.
Right.
And that person would never make me feel like
I need to do it for you.
Like, one instance that I can speak of directly is I recently stopped eating meat. Like, I don't eat fish, chicken, beef. I never really ate pork anyway. So a lot of people tie that to, oh, Jen is vegan.
It wasn't even me.
Did she make you do this? And it's like, fam, I've known Jen for
years.
Years. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I've been busting down chicken wings. You know what I'm saying? But
in front of her.
In front of her. You know what I'm
Disrespectfully.
saying? Granted, she's given me knowledge on what it's doing to me, what it's doing to my body.
But it's not my responsibility to tell him what to eat, because we're all going through this journey. Like, at one point, I was busting down KFC. No
Jamaican KFC.
Yeah, listen.
That's important.
I was out here.
That caveat is important.
Let me tell you, I wasn't out here eating no trash KFC. I was eating Jamaican KFC.
America?
Right. American KFC.
Not me campaigning for KFC.
Yo.
I mean, granted, I mean,
I that's all I had. Chicken, that's it, and I had seafood.
And
that was it.
The best of the best chicken and the best of the best seafood.
That was the best chicken I've had. And my uncles shamed me for it, but it was worth it.
And you was over there.
I'm like, I hear y'all. I know what y'all saying.
But that barbecue though?
But y'all tasting barbecue wings.
You ever bust on a zinger with a nice champagne?
Listen.
With the fries?
I can't remember how it tastes, but I just know the feeling it gave me. And it was out here.
Yeah, man. So I made that change, and it was never a thing of
force.
Oh, nah, Jen, I'm doing this because I'm living in the same space with the vegan. Nah, it was, if anything, it was more helpful knowing that I had somebody like that. Yeah. But I did that purely for me.
Because selfishly, as you should.
For sure. Like when it's coming to better yourself, like be selfish.
Yeah.
It's fine, bro. Like, and not better yourself for necessarily like things that are now detrimental to others. No, better yourself, be selfish when it's not hurting anybody else, but like, it's for you. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that.
Years ago, like I would be like, you just go sit there and eat a whole carcass, and he's like,
hell yeah. That shit would not faze me.
I sure would.
Now, if it got to a point where there were certain things I wouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't ask her to make chicken for me. Ask her, you know what I'm saying? Right. I know you wouldn't, but like that's where the respect factor comes in. Yeah. But I'm still living my own life. So if I want to eat this, maybe I'm not going to put it in front of your face or have that smell around you because I know that, okay, now you're sensitive to these things. Right. Let me just step into my own space. Yeah. And that's not something that I would ever hold onto her as a mark like, okay, remember I did this for you. Because that's not friendship.
You didn't do it for me.
You know what I'm saying? Like it people tend to take these.
That's weird.
It's awkward for me, bro. Because like anytime I have a friend that now takes tallies on shit, you're not my friend, bro. Yeah. And don't do shit for me. Right. Ever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because even when he transitioned into vegetarianism, and I'm like, I was proud, like it didn't have nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm like, he's making a change for himself, and I'm like, okay, go off. Like it's not a journey for everybody. At the end of the day, like I tell a lot of people, I'm not gonna be a person out here being an advocate for veganism. I'm gonna tell you, this is my way of life. This is how I feel like I need to live.
Yeah.
This is I do it not only for myself, but I do it for the animals and the planet. That's me.
I ain't gonna cap. I'm gonna need some of that information, kid.
Like, bro,
Like, cause like I've heard things and I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds interesting. But like, I feel like I'm at the place in my life where it's like my health is like starting to become one of my top priorities. Like I'm working out on a regular, eating like more and more green, and you know what I mean. Like, so it's like, okay, trust and believe. I still have my chicken. Don't get it twisted. But you feel me? Like now it's like it's making that gradual shift. Yeah. Because to me, change always has to happen in a very gradual, almost slow paced process for it to be real.
And it's tailored to you. Like your change is always gonna be tailored to you.
Right.
So like, go ahead.
No, my bad. Go ahead.
Damn, cut her off.
My bad.
So you get to a point, in your life where you're like, you know, meat don't make me feel good. And you may not be doing it for the animals. You don't give two shits about planet Earth.
I ain't gonna lie, it's starting to get there for me.
For the animals?
Yeah, not just both animals, but even the feeling. Like literally, like I'll see the difference in how I feel when I eat something that's I guess plant-based, or even, you know, just herbs that are like, you know, healthy, versus when I eat like meat and I'm like, bro, like I feel like
you will
more
feel
tired
different.
and more like I lack energy. I'm like, yo, kid, I gotta make this shift.
One thing I could tell you, and like I say this too, because I didn't do this for like a cosmetic change. You know what I'm saying? Because I was working out for that. I was working out for like just bettering myself, and I knew that the cosmetic, like the physical appearance and all this shit would come. You know what I'm saying? Right. I did it because of that. Like I felt like shit, bro. Like I put on, I want to say 40 pounds in 2 years, maybe a year and a half, really. I just capped out. You know what I'm saying? But I felt that, and it's because of how I was eating, and a lot of the shit that I was eating. Now, I'm not a cruel person. I don't want you to just go slaughter animals and shit, but I don't feel it the same way she feels it. You know what I'm saying? So my purpose wasn't, okay, I need to make sure that they stop killing. Like, nah, of course it's fucked up. And I'm gonna get there. Like it's still something that I feel like, that needs to be addressed for sure. But that wasn't the spark that did it for me. Because I have friends that and I want to say Lauren, Lauren, and if this is wrong, please forgive me. But I feel like one of the biggest reasons why she went vegan was for that. Her advocating for animal cruelty and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And then it kind of seeped into, okay, nah, I feel better doing this and that and stuff. And there's people like that. But for me, bro, I promise you, and I'm going to sound like a lot of motherfuckers that was talking to me, especially her, bro, it's a different feeling. And I haven't even fully transitioned into, because I still eat cheese. So, you know, that has the dairy aspect of it that I can. The thing now is, because I don't have the meat, I don't have like the chicken and all that stuff weighing me down, I can pinpoint what's fucking me up. Right. And so when I have dairy, like I'm like, oh no, that got something in there. Like my body's like
Right, no, that's facts too, because like I don't like the only two meats that I really eat is chicken and turkey. And like turkey is here and there, chicken is almost like my main thing. Right. And like, but most days, if you like see what I have for lunch, it's normally like some lettuce, some cucumber, it's maybe some type of green, right? Some type of, you know what I'm saying? And I'll have like a smoothie in the morning that's straight fruit, right? So I'm like, by the middle of the day, I'm like, yo, I have a burst of energy that I'm like, yo. And then like at nighttime, I'll eat some chicken or something, and I'm like, yo, my energy's down, kid. Like, and if you could feel it, there's a physical difference.
And there's this concept that used to plague me, bro. Like, bruh, nigga, how I'm gonna eat all these greens and shit, nigga, and be full, my nigga, bro. So she put me on game. Once you stop eating all this meat and shit, right? Pause. I'm playing. Once you stop, your stomach shrinks because it doesn't have to make space for all of that. So, bro, I'm telling you, like, I get full a lot easier. A lot of times when I overeat now, it's out of habit,
gluttony,
and gluttony. Like it's just because in my head, like I'm used to this. But I'll take I had a salad one day. Right, I had a salad and a fruit smoothie. Right, and like she literally sat here and watched me. And I'm there trying to finish. I'm like, why the fuck am I so full? It's lettuce. You know what I'm saying? Right. But it's like, bro, like my body no longer needs to make space for all that. So that craving and all that shit.
And it regulates you
there.
because you're not eating as much.
Your fuck.
Yeah, you're not eating as much. So when you eat and your body is full, it gives you time to digest and then go.
Right.
So you're not like eating, and your body's like, damn, I gotta process all of this. Let me process this.
And that's the thing. Meats are slow as fuck to process in
Bro,
your system.
and the shit that they have inside of it,
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Listen,
It's terrible, G. So we actually gonna have a segment.
Oh yeah.
Shit,
What's on your
it
plate?
might have came out before this.
What's on your plate? It didn't.
Where we had it listed, we're gonna be transparent with y'all, man. Where we had it listed, this was supposed to be episode 6. What's on your plate was supposed to be episode 5.
But we have Terall here. No, he's available. So every time we have the guest available, we work on their time.
I get it. Yeah, I get it down.
And what we want to do is since we now know that that's something that you're interested in, bro. We wanted to have
you back as a regular. Oh, okay.
No, back as a regular for sure. But remember, I think we wanted to do 2 different versions of what's on your plate.
Yeah,
somebody that's fully into and it could be multiple versions because we have so many different type of diets. You know what I'm saying? So somebody that's fully vegan, somebody that's just vegetarian, pescatarian, somebody that's like, nigga, I'm gonna eat McDonald's every day. You know what I mean? Just to kind of get
a heavy carnivore.
Just to kind of get like the different perspectives because that's really what this.
And then a lot of people ask me.
Now cut me off, my boy. No, that was cool.
Every time she got it.
Yeah, all right, go ahead.
A lot of people have asked me too. Carl, put your lips them together.
What? Brother, nah,
a lot of people have asked me too if my eating habits like veganism or vegetarianism or whatever it is in alignment like with my spiritual belief. But for me, veganism for me was more of empathy for animals.
Yeah.
It didn't align with my spirituality until like I made the connection after. I'm like, at the end of the day, like, you know, it's death. You're eating death, basically. It's going in your body. But
it's going in your body.
It's your go. You're putting death in your body. But
that's a dead piece.
I don't like to be that person who everybody has their journey. Yeah. So that's my journey is to advocate for animals. And, you know, and be empathetic for animals. But that could not be your journey. And the spiritual community, I have to hold them accountable. They need to understand that. Right. Like, you can't force people to be you and to be a spiritual person like you. I don't like the idea you eating meat around me. I don't
you're not gonna condemn somebody.
But I'm not gonna tear you down. Yeah, it's like now you're making it look like we're Christians, we're religious, because that's what Christianity does.
Thump people
I can give you some information. I'm like, yo, this is a whole animal. Like, this is a living creature. It's not cute.
And we're here to teach, bro.
But that's your karma. Learn. That's not me.
And we're here to learn from each other. You feel what I'm saying? That's why platforms like
and
this
I can.
And what happens is when you have a racially unstable person that's on the podcast, everybody on both sides.
Everybody by now knows I am black.
Ish.
No,
you're a whole TV show out here.
I'm not.
Interesting.
I'm black, like I'm 100% black.
All right, let me show you the difference. Right, the headphones that you're wearing are black. I can see them very clear.
Likewise, I can see yours very clear.
It's different. Your hair not even.
My
black.
grandfather is black. My great grandfather is black.
Now you sound like the white kids. Well,
can you say the same?
All right.
About your grandparents and great grandparents?
Well, unfortunately, my great grandfather, I think my great grandfather raped my great grandmother. So thanks for bringing that up. I appreciate that.
That's not how it went.
That's exactly how it went. Sheesh. But anything else you want to talk about? Maybe another subject?
It wasn't sore for you.
I mean, bro, that's my heritage, bro. What's up with you? That's okay for you?
Y'all didn't hold him accountable.
Are you kidding me?
Did you guys hold him accountable?
I don't know that motherfucker. He dead.
Oh.
You said he did say great. Okay, never mind.
It's a Caucasian.
But you have greats that are alive.
Your great is alive?
Great.
I know my great grandfather died when I was younger. When I was a kid.
Hold on. Great.
And then another great. So that's your grandfather's grandfather or grandparents' grandparent. Yeah,
you can't have your grandparents alive.
That is.
You can't have that?
I mean, at my age, it's highly unlikely. That nigga must be in a fucking time chamber or something.
None of my not even my great grands are alive.
Yeah, my great grandfather died when I was like 16, 14.
That's not too bad because mine died at 99.
99, yeah.
And depending on too where they're from and their diet and how they lived and all that kind of plays a factor in that too. Because like at least in American society,
that ain't happening. My boy. No. First of all, you probably got murdered,
or some craziness happened to you. But maybe in Jamaican society, it's probably a little easier for them to live a little longer because of diet is different. Like the quality of food in Jamaica is just different. It is. So that helps create a certain level of longevity.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say nothing important. So you don't gotta rush to it. I was just gonna say shit. If we over here hyping up KFC, so you know, right? The quality of the food is
it's just different. Yeah. It's different. So and that that obviously plays.
Yeah, because I remember this Aunt Etty, this lady. She was my aunt, but older folks.
Yeah, auntie.
Yeah, she was like 112. Mm-hmm. And up until when I came here, I think they said she had a stroke, and that was like 2016.
Jesus.
And I think that she passed away like 2017, the end of 2017. Like she was almost 114.
What's scary to me too, or not scary, but like what has me in awe is like a lot of times when they hit these ages, they're just now showing signs of being old. Oh, yeah, but like up here, it's like once you hit like 67, 70, it's like you damn near broken down. And like that's one of my biggest fears and reason why I made a change like this. But we definitely gonna double back on that.
Damn, how this one long, huh?
And ain't nothing to cut. Because we was vibing.
We sure did.
But, bro, we definitely going to get you back on here, bro, because I like the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Shit, it's been like this since day one.
Yeah, you already know.
And Jen, I appreciate you. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
as you should.
As much as we talk shit to each other, like
as much as you talk shit to me.
Y'all making me want to start a podcast, kid.
You should.
My boy, what's up?
And have me on as your first guest.
We got the equipment, so this can always be.
Hey, can I rent this
transported? Space? You feel what I'm saying? I mean, it's about what was it? 3,000 a session.
Okay, all right,
yeah.
I'll buy my own
equipment. So before we sign off, Lord, too close to the mic. Before we sign off, I want to do the crystal of the day, which is the lapis lazuli.
That's shout out my boy Trill Soul because I think he threw that in the rap.
Yo, I used to when we went to New Orleans. That's the one I got. That was like the wrist one. The wrist.
Oh, okay, that's dope.
Oh, I'm like, when we go to New Orleans? I remember because I'm thinking.
Oh, so now you don't remember New Orleans?
Yeah. No. What I was thinking about
is you, nigga?
No, what I was thinking about is when y'all dragged me to the damn Dr. Umar thing.
Oh, yeah. No, she was mad as fuck.
I was salty as that.
But like even me and you was like, yeah. Like every 2 seconds we be like, all right, he's on a roll,
right?
And that nigga would just go off the deep end. You're like, God damn. Right.
No, he was. So the lapis is perhaps the best known gem for friendship, and it's also called the stone of truth and compassion. It brings truthfulness, openness, inner power, intuition, creativity, and manifestation to light.
That's a beautiful stone.
That's a stone of friendship. That's the ones they normally use in love spells for friends.
That's what's up, man.
Dope.
So T, you wanna close it off? Shout out your Instagram, what you might have going on business wise, all of that, bro.
Yeah. So so let's see. So my Instagram is just being Rizzy, JUSBEINRIZZY.
And we'll have that tagged on the post and everything.
Yeah. I was about to say what I have going on. What isn't going on? So I guess still working on music, trying to launch some business with Bay. She got a body butter line coming out.
Shout her out, man. What's her ads and all that?
Big up Tasia.
Tasia is at the real Tasia. So TheReelTasia.
Yeah, because Tasia also is a photographer too. Really dope photographer.
Photographer.
Yeah, she does photography. Well, she does photography too, but for right now, her main focus is trying to get this body butter thing, on and popping.
And they are fire. Let me tell you, they melt in your body.
In your body?
They melt in your body, in your soul.
Yeah,
they
natural,
connect
all natural
with your being.
Yep.
Shout out T, the other T to TT.
Aggie.
Right, but yeah. So and the Instagram for that was Real Essence. So ReelEssence.
Okay.
That's what's up. That's what's up, bro.
So
any other business ventures that might be making their way back?
Yeah. You already know Vent gonna have to do his thing, kid.
Oh shit, Vent. I didn't even remember about that. That's crazy.
That's crazy. You feel me? But yeah, so definitely we got to have a few launches of a few different things. Whether it's just simple merch or even certain contests and things we gonna have in the works and stuff.
Yeah, we gotta we gotta get back to the creators, man.
For a fact. So yeah, I'm cool, bro. Like I'm ready. I'm ready for 2021. It's 2021.
2021.
Feel me? That should be the end of it. It's 2021,
bro. How the fuck?
This is how I'm coming 2021.
But yo, man, my brother, I appreciate you as always, man.
Peace.
Thank you for jumping on the 1257 Pod Party podcast.
Yeah.
Jen is gonna go ahead and close it out with her, routine, and we're gonna make sure that hits y'all right with a nice vibe. You know what I'm saying? As we usually do. So go ahead and handle your business, my boy.
So keeping in the same topic of friendship, we're going to repeat this mantra. All my friendships are harmonious and supportive. We'll say that one more time. All my friendships are harmonious and supportive. Namaste.
I felt that, my G. You know what I'm saying?
I like it a lot.
You know what? Tea coming from you. I believe you.
Big up yourself, my Genna.
Yeah, big up yourself too. Oh, I know.
I go by Daley HTG, and at this point, man, y'all got to be like some of the dopest people for just rocking with us this far. Shout out to my brother for joining us.
Yo.
Definitely gonna have him back. Jen, you want to close us out with any other words?
No, just follow me on the IG.
What the IG be?
Y'all know it by this.
I go by Daley HTG on all platforms.
Yes.
And the podcast IG is 1257 podcast. Twitter is the same thing. We also have
a YouTube, SoundCloud,
the whole
Spotify.
Nine. Spotify gonna be popping. The Apple Podcast popping. If there's any platforms that you'd rather us be on, just hit us up. We'll see how we can incorporate that. And the topic was friendship. So if you have any questions, any stories you want to tell,
any photos you want to share with your friends you want to appreciate, send us that to the 1257 podcast page.
Yeah, hit us up, man. You already know what time it is, my boy.
T, you got anything you want to say before we go?
I'm cool. I'm cool. Thank you, though.
All right, no problem.
I don't know the thing set already. 1257 podcast.
So,
Jesus Christ.
what is that? I don't know.
That's a gang.
Oh, not Sue. What's the opposite one?
Just say goodbye.
Oh, gosh.
Say goodbye.
Unsue.
Jesus. We out.